The finest topsoil, compost, and leaf humus around for your garden. 18 varieties of decorative stones, 7 colors of mulch, and they do deliver. 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at thicklandscapesupplies.com and like them on Facebook. Now let's get thick and busy in the garden. Well, there's word out of Ann Arbor that the University of Michigan is going to be searching for a new president. Santa Ono announcing that he plans to leave U of M this summer to take over as president at the University of Florida. Ono's only been U of M's president for the past 3 years. Deadly shooting in Flint last Friday remaining under investigation today. Multiple reports say that a 55-year-old man was found dead at the Travel Inn on Dort Highway. Police are said to have taken 2 people into custody for it. Some pressure cookers being recalled. Shark Ninja is reportedly recalling all Ninja Foodie OP300 series multifunction pressure cookers over a problem with the lid. It can come open during use, potentially causing hot contents to escape and pose a burn risk. Tigers continue to be hot. They trounced the LA Angels out west yesterday 13-1. They took 3 of 4 from that weekend series. The Great Lakes Loons closed out their week against the Quad Cities River Bandits with a 7-3 win at Dow Diamond in Midland yesterday. In the UFL, the Michigan Panthers, a winner over the DC Defenders 38-14. That one played at Ford Field, and Joey Logano won the NASCAR race that was run out at Texas Motor Speedway. And to cap this one off, a Kentucky lottery winner hitting the headlines twice in less than a week. First, James Farthing found he'd won the $167 million Powerball jackpot last weekend, but by midweek, Farthing had been arrested in Florida and charged with assaulting an officer during a fight. He'd also been charged with violating parole stemming from a series of offenses that included drug charges and engaging in organized crime. Farthing had told lottery officials he'd planned to split his winnings with his mother, who would use the money to pay off debts. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Cloud cover expected most of the day with a few peaks of sun along the way, and a chance we'll see a little bit of rain this morning in some areas. Temps hitting around 66 with east winds at 6. More rain likely tonight, along with overnight lows down around 50. And then for tomorrow, off and on rain, 63. Wednesday brings more sunshine back to us, along with slightly warmer temperatures at around 67. Right now it's 49 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 50.
Classic Rock Authority.
103.9. The Fox. Hey, Smiley's in the house.
Hey! Good morning.
We got Melissa Hager joining us shortly after the Doobie Brothers of 103.9 The Fox.
Well, Melissa's back with us again. Isn't that 2 days in a row? Welcome all to Monday. It is the 5th of May, making it Cinco de Mayo. So if you have no other excuse to drink, I suppose that's kind of what this is all about. That's really the reason why Cinco de Mayo is such a big deal, because for the Hispanic people, it isn't nearly as big as we want to make it here. Anyway, off we go into a Monday of simul streaming with Eric here already on top of the fact that we're playing the Doobie Brothers and listening to the music. He's in California, monitoring closely what we're doing. Rob Suka is also here from Finland. Good afternoon, Rob Suka. It looks like we also have Linda from the township here. Good morning, Linda. Also, Dale is here. It's a Navajo Nation in Arizona, which has joined us. Good morning to Dale. And that means that we are everybody here on YouTube to start with. But of course, as you know, maybe you don't, maybe you're brand new to us, because we've still got a few people coming in who've never been here before. We've got YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch active right now. We're on all 3. Pick one. Hang there, and of course, whichever one you're on, you're only going to see the comments from that particular channel. So all the people who are on Facebook and Twitch, everybody else, all the action, all the parties on YouTube right now, that's where all the comments are, including those from Chris, who's here from New Mexico. Good morning, Chris. Welcome to Monday. If you are on YouTube and you have not yet done it, please do like and subscribe as we try to move into a brand new week here. And well, at least we had some sunshine. Well, I was outside just a minute or so ago. We had some sunshine. I see it's disappeared. It looks like we're only getting a little bit of it. The forecast basically calling for just cloud cover in the next couple of days. It's going to be just not the best, not picturesque. Wednesday, the sun will be back with us. But we've needed the rain, so it's a good thing, the fact that we're getting some. There we go. How does it work on YouTube, Robsuka? We just keep the place closed. I mean, it's why are you just craving Fireball that much that you need to have the Hal Hole Saloon working more than one day a week? Is that what we're thinking here? All right, Chris is saying that tomorrow is Revenge of the Sixth, a.k.a. Revenge of the Sith. Okay? How are you celebrating that? Or is that something to be celebrated? Like Cinco de Mayo is being celebrated today. And I know you geeks were celebrating Star Wars yesterday. Canada Dan is here. Canada Dan has joined us. He's all happy because the Toronto Maple Leafs finally won a playoff series in the National Hockey League and are moving on to the next round. That never happens. That never happens, but it did last week since last we spoke. Was another big Canadian team victory last night, and this one was rather miraculous when the Winnipeg Jets, down 3-1 with 2 minutes to go in the game, managed to tie the game with just seconds left and then won it in double overtime in Game 7 against the St. Louis Blues to move on to the second round. So Canada is doing pretty well so far in the National Hockey League playoffs. And the Dallas Stars go to the second round of the playoffs, reports Robsuka accurately. And the Vegas Golden Knights are now in the second round of the playoffs also, Chris. Yeah, they are there. They made it through. So we're going to have Melissa joining us. I want to tell you about the new oldest person in the world. And I want to show you a great deal that I got since last we spoke. A great deal. We also want to welcome in Royal Rachel, who is here on Facebook. You can't see her comments because she's on Facebook and all the rest are on YouTube right now. But Royal Rachel is, well, it's a big day in Royal Watching Land, and so she's been doing that before coming here. Been a big morning because in England it's middle of the day, so they're knee-deep in ceremony today, I guess. And the Leafs start tonight. They do. The Leafs are in their second round of the playoffs, and they will start tonight. Boy, we're in the greatest time of the season when it comes to hockey. I've been seeing multiple games, sometimes 3 and 4 games in a day lately. Now we're going to kind of whittle that down a little bit since we're out of the first round. Now the second round is going to produce fewer games per night, but that's better because it's easier to see. It's easier to see one game than it is to see 3 games or sometimes 4 like they've been showing on the weekends. I love having them as an option, but it's hard to keep up with all those. Oh, I see. Rachel's watching. Okay, that's why you've got YouTube. Because you're watching it on. I got it. Okay. Royal Rachel, the queen of the multitaskers. It's been great hockey this weekend and for the last week and a half. First round of the playoffs is amazing because every single game is televised. And if you've got 4 rounds of games or matchups, 8 matchups. 4 per conference. There's lots of hockey to be watched. Now, I also watched a little bit of WNBA basketball over the weekend because the Indiana Fever were on in a couple of preseason games, and they are going to be a powerhouse. Caitlin Clark is the reason for that, but I found another player who has become my immediate favorite in the WNBA, and she plays on the Indiana Fever. But it's not Caitlin Clark, who is just an amazing basketball player in her own right, and so is Lexi Hall, who is also there. But they have a player by the name of Sophie Cunningham, who is a cover model, who is playing basketball and who's been in the WNBA for 6 years, and she is like the enforcer of the WNBA. Tall, sleek, blonde chick who will fight at a drop of a hat if you give her a chance. She didn't get into it, but a couple of chicks pushed her down during games, and she was ready to go. She was ready to go. And boy, does she love having. If I listen to her speak during an interview, it's a happening. It's an absolute happening. Do I pay watching NHL playoffs? No, I don't have to. We've got them here on free TV. I mean, I pay for the TV service. I have a streaming service. YouTube TV is what I have. But all those games are on those, that was going on. Okay, we also want to now welcome on Facebook. You can't see him if you're on YouTube, but it's Fitzy. Congratulations to Fitzy, who is now a college graduate. Got his diploma. Proudly, all that hard work has paid off for him. He absolutely is to be applauded. So applause to Fitzy. Did anybody watch my weigh-in last Friday? Well, last Friday's weigh-in was kind of an exhibition game, if you will. It didn't count for anything. It was just kind of something to see where we're at and what our starting point is going to be for this Friday. That's right. Linda is pointing out that I did a baseline weight, which basically means we're just setting the stage for when the guesses come in Friday. You'll have an idea of where we're working from, whether we gained or lost. And the number came in at 217.8 pounds. That's what our starting point for Friday will be. And we'll get more into that in a little bit. Sheila's here. Good morning, Sheila. Sheba bringing the sunshine. It was there for a minute. I don't see it now, but it was there for a minute. Bright, beautiful. 4 Celsius, plus 4. In Finland, says Rapsuka, plus 4 Celsius is 39 Fahrenheit. 39. Tina's here. Good morning, Tina. Hot Jim is here on YouTube also. Hot Jim says it's 59 right now in Phoenix, going to be 72 for the hot. Boy, that's a cool day. 72 in Phoenix?
I could shout out the cool Genesee County folks.
That's winter coat weather.
Lake and watched our show this week.
Oh, you got some now? Okay, cool. Send it this way, because I had it 5 minutes. Before the live stream, I went outside for a couple minutes, and the sun came up. It was beautiful, but it's gone now.
Row, you dropped your credit card, and it's still sitting there at the place. Just so you know.
Say what? Where,
Yeah,
who, what?
I might have charged a few things, but we were cleaning up our equipment. I was like, "What is that?" And it was a black card. Even. I was like, "Ooh, I'm not even touching that. That thing is valuable. I don't want my fingerprints on it."
Hundreds are coming to Phoenix by next weekend.
The hard way.
Just leave it there.
Yeah.
Jersey's got 65 coming today, says Tina.
I was like, "Hey, somebody grab that. Put your handprints on it."
Yeah, well, nowadays you practically don't even need the credit card physically. You just
Right.
need the numbers on it.
Yeah, numbers. Oh yeah, I memorized those for sure. I just because I was like, somebody flip that over so I can get that CVC code off. Yeah, that 3-digit number. Yes.
You're a horrible human being. Just saying.
I just in case it's needed.
Listen, she bought a few nice things for you.
Yeah, right.
You'll be happy at Christmas time that she...
Tina congratulating you there, Fitz.
Glad to hear that. So, how was your weekend with Mr. Caparulo?
It was
Sounds
very
like you
fun.
had a great time.
Yes, it was very cool. He did not disappoint and definitely had some hilarious things to say about Frank.
California looking at 66 for a high today.
We take for granted that we know Frank Moose so well.
Right.
These guys have no idea. And he came in and he goes, "Wow, I bet in May this is really I bet in December this is really magical. But I got to tell you guys, being here in May, it's like you guys live on a miniature golf course."
It does look like that a little bit, doesn't
That's
it?
kind of brilliant,
Yeah, I know.
actually.
It
Great
lost their minds.
observation.
Yeah, it was very fun. We got to see a lot of people we haven't seen in a little while.
Dale offering congratulations, Fitzy.
Dave Landau is coming in July, so we're super pumped about that. And John Heffron. So we got both those events are up for sale. They'll be in Frankenmuth, Tawas, Houghton Lake. We got so much great summer stuff happening up there.
Do you have anything this week that is going on?
Yes, Timothy's Pub, our favorite firefighter
Right.
from Grand Rapids, Dave Dyer. He's going to be over there, and
Oh, Dyer's hilarious.
oh, he's so funny. Yeah, and you got the Fox half off big deal wheels. The guy.
FoxBigDeals.com.
Yes, there you go.
Dr. Dealgood.
Dr.
Yeah, Dr.
Dealgood.
Dealgood.
Yes, Dr. Dealgood. Because Timothy's Pub is on there, so great. You can't use it for your tickets, but you can use it on your food and your
There you
drink.
go.
And I
Yeah.
believe you can use it for your alcohol as
Yes,
well.
yes. And Teresa is such
Rachel, have you seen Sophie Cunningham play?
is amazing. And that's a great Mother's Day present.
Yeah.
Like a great Mother's Day present. So, yeah, get over to Timothy's Pub this weekend. TheComedySeries.net, grab tickets. We also have some game
She
nights.
spent 6 years with the Phoenix Mercury, toiling under the shadow of Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner.
So for Mother's Day, you take mom to a gay or to a
Go see a Drake. A dude in a dress. What's
I Thursday?
Now,
Yeah, no problem.
Mother's Day, really?
Yeah, that's a thing. That's
You
a
guys are
thing.
weird.
Gaggles of women. Well, I'll tell you, we have 2 spots that hold like 200 people, and they're both sold out. I can't even promote them. So
Crazy.
it's an exciting thing.
Wow.
Caitlin hit a 36-foot three-pointer yesterday, too.
The way we do it hilariously for
Right.
the first time in Oscoda, Michigan, and it sold out like that.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So how the Hager Monsters doing? Were they
doing
wrestling at all this weekend?
Yes, Weston got recruited by Alpha Elite and wrestled in their.
Or you're thinking of toiling as a word?
First time we got to watch that, so it's them against.
We don't use that one very often.
Got third place. Weston ended up being one of the point tippers where they were behind, tied, and then Weston beat a guy and it put him ahead.
Oh, beautiful.
So they got to
Oh, he's
move
got to
on,
feel
so-
good about that.
Oh yeah, he's got quite the big head going on.
Well, his confidence level has grown so much over this
Well,
last
and
year.
it's crazy. I would have never understood the credit that an individual sport deserves. I have seen a whole new side of my boys, and I like it.
Well, I think that sports in
The
general-
Sophie Angel Reese matchup is going to be a blast. Must-see TV right there.
problems you have with your kids. Get them involved in sports or a
Yes.
club of some sort. Get them involved in music. Get them involved in something that they can hang their hat on, that they can dedicate their teenhood to, and they'll be better kids.
Well, and especially if you can find yourself some good coaches, like the coaches at Alpha Elite and the Frankenmuth coaches, very encouraging. They're not easy on them, and that's what you want. You want your kids
Listen,
to be
life
broke
isn't
down.
easy.
Exactly.
Especially if you're Melissa Hager's kid.
Angel's kind of about Angel, whereas Sophie's kind of about let's
We had
win.
weigh-ins last week in preparation for this tournament, and there was a couple kids that were like 5-6 pounds over, and so the coach was like, "All right, we're gonna get fat as a team. We're gonna lose weight as a team," and they ran, and Weston come home and he's like, "I'm gonna be underweight."
Is that rough, though? I was always glad that my boys didn't wrestle because of the dietary restrictions.
That's the only thing that. So like this one kid was 6 pounds over, and then he ended up being a pound under when they did weigh in at the tournament, and I was like,
We now welcome in Mel Mel. Good evening, Mel Mel from Australia. Good day. She's on Facebook, guys. You can't see her comments, perhaps, but few of you can. Most of the action's over on YouTube right now, but they're all waiting for you, Mel Mel.
Emotionally attached to, and I actually say it out loud for myself to hear it because I could have like an emotional breakdown based on what number comes out. But so the boys, my boys have been pretty level. They don't.
Angel's shooting percentage reminds you of Dennis Rodman.
Definitely lost like 40 pounds, and it's just kind of he's so far into the heavyweights, it still hasn't changed his weight class, you know. But
See, that's what wrestling, though, seemed to me. At least it was when I was in high school. You always wrestle at about 10 pounds under what your regular weight
yeah,
was.
it's so you can be the biggest guy.
Exactly. So you have the muscle of the guy that's 10 pounds heavier,
Yeah.
but you've got the strength of somebody with 10 less pounds on them.
Right.
And the coaches, these kids in high school, I remember specifically friends of mine running around in sweatsuits all day,
Just right.
laying on radiators so they sweat it out. All it was is water. They're
It's
trying to
just
get rid of
water,
all the water in their bodies so that they can.
Because I'll tell you the flip side of what we're talking about, Steph, is they do learn discipline at a younger age.
Sure.
Where, like, I don't know about you, but I can go through the holidays and get on a scale, and all of a sudden I'm like, where did 12 pounds
I know,
go?
I
You
know.
Yes. And so, I mean, I guess I think that's the positive side of it.
Okay, Mel Mel says she's coming over to YouTube where the party's going right now.
7:20, boy, we're talking a long time here. 7:20. You gotta stand by because in most
How come
years,
I say we've got something to do, don't
we
we?
gotta get people signed up to win $1,000 next here on the Fox.
The Foxhole Morning Show with Johnny and Steph. 103.9 The Fox.
Keller, home seller, it's
All right, while we have a moment to do it, because we haven't done it yet, get you smiling on Monday morning, day when you kind of need it, although for Mel Mel, it's almost over. We have the smile of a Norwegian elk hound by the name of Titan, who's celebrating Cinco de Mayo in Moreno Valley, California. This is Titan.
There's custom bunnies on it. Or you look at registers and there's dust, or there's underwear.
That's Titan.
Whatever it may be, and then we expand from there.
Aw. Yeah, there you go. Aw, there you go, yeah. Yes, indeed. A Norwegian elk hound.
Usually the kitchen. Think of it as the heart of the home. Most people that
Smiling at you so that you can smile at him. That's Titan. Okay, we'll get to the traffic. Then I want to show you the deal that I got. We're getting ready to have our friend, from the sales staff, Dr. Dealgood, come on and talk about the Fox half-off deals. But I got more than half off on this one. Time to get somebody up to qualify here.
77 Flex Local Contest Authority. 103.9 The Fox.
Are the cost of high heating bills getting you down? Contact Modern Outdoor Furnaces today and buy a quality, ultra-high efficiency Woodmaster outdoor wood furnace and never.
Traffic is coming up, and then the unbelievably good deal.
And with many styles and colors available, they're sure to have one that fits your heating needs. Modern Outdoor Furnaces.
On Cinco de Mayo.
An authorized Woodmaster dealer. Schedule your free
Quality.
by calling 810-569-01.
Oh, qualify. Qualify. $1,000. Yes, so qualify for a $1,000 winner here. Absolutely. Eric says that Moreno Valley, which is where Titan hangs out, is an hour away from him. That's Titan. Another California canine. You go. All right. Dale volunteered to chaperone a sister's prom this weekend. Do you understand what the responsibilities of that are, Dale? You ever been a chaperone before? That's a pretty responsible position.
Well, Trina, now you're in charge of ordering food for the office, so meet my mountain of menus.
So, this should be easy.
Easy as pie. You know the mathematical constant for
Pretty
a circle
responsible.
diameter ratio pi? It's super complicated.
Man, that
Not
gets
the easiest thing to keep track of high schoolers
Tons of
who are
restaurants,
promming.
dietary preferences, even digital receipts.
But my mountain of menus.
How about I order us some pie? Easy Cater. The easy way to get food for work.
First time, a rookie prom chaperone.
He does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants
Want to get the report after that's over.
Granger offers the professional grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Save big and everything for your next project when you shop at Menards. Finish your painting projects faster with GE Painters Pro Cost.
7:23 Eastern time right now on Cinco de Mayo. 49 degrees here. The sun is back. Thanks, Sheila. Blew it down from Bay City.
Plus, check out the weekly flyer on Menards.com for plenty more great deals happening this week. Save big money at Menards.
Traffic.
3.9 The Fox. Vehicle City Traffic.
We're scanning the streets and the highways and the roads in the region and finding just smooth traffic flow. No crashes, no unusual delays at this juncture. And for updated Vehicle City traffic info, you check it out at classicfox.com/traffic. It'll be there for you. And if you spot a problem, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777 to be a traffic tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
103.9 The Fox. Local contest for local listeners.
The box is on our phone.
Hello. Said who's on our phone?
John.
John. Okay, John. Got the first part done. What's the last name?
Harris.
Guess what?
Number 9.
You are number 2.
Nicely done, John Pierce.
Congratulations, buddy. You are the first of the people this week that get signed up to win the Fox $1,000 Thursday. Coming up Thursday morning at this time, we're going to draw from the 16 finalists. And there are 3 more opportunities for everybody else to get involved in that today. 11, 22, 20, and 520. John, congratulations. You're in. 103.9 The Fox.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right. I had mentioned to you guys a couple weeks ago about how a phone store in the area closed up and moved away. I don't know if they went out of business or they just switched locations after being nearby here, but they did. And after moving all of the equipment and supplies from inside the store out, they left behind several items which they just left out on the curb and marked free. All of them. They included Mr. Mel went back to work today. So far, you're asking if he's been here? I've not seen him here so far, Mel. If he shows up, I will make sure that you know because, hey, I think he comes in on Facebook, doesn't he? So I'll watch. I told you also that among all of those items that were left out on display for people to pick up for absolutely no cost, so you're not at home, you're looking after your mom after 7 falls. Oh, that's right, your mom is away from you, or your mom is away from you, distance-wise, right? Well, good luck with that. We're going to be watching and throwing some positive vibes your direction for sure. Been through that whole mom falling thing years ago. That was an experience. So out there for anybody to pick up were 4 folding chairs, a bar stool type chair, an office chair, padded office chair, and it looked like collection of shelves that were all together in one unit that could be used for who knew what. I couldn't figure any of that out. So one day by one day by one day, I started picking up those folding chairs. I ended up with 3 of them, or 4 of them out there, and 3 of them ended up here. Right over there. Those are the 3 folding chairs. The one thing I couldn't think about what to do with when I saw it was this shelving that was out there. But geez, I don't know who the hell's going to want that. That's stuff that all the phones that they had in the store were on display on those multi-level shelves. And then I thought, aha, how about my printer and paper? Aha. So, this is what happened. This is what I got for absolutely nothing. This shelving. There you go. Absolutely no cost. Still in good shape. Wasn't really easy getting it down here, but it was good. And now we've got something that's a little more stable. My printer was on a rather unstable table before that. But here we are. And it cost absolutely nothing. And by the way, also here is that. And we, of course, last Friday got on that thing to practice. Came up 217.8. That's going to be a starting point when we do this weigh-in on Friday, when we resurrect the weekly weigh-in on Fridays. And we'll get more into that in a minute. But right now, here's Johnny and Steph and Melissa.
Live in the foxhole. Chance for some morning rain. Well, we've seen that off and on throughout the area this morning. Otherwise, it'll be eventually just mostly cloudy at 66 today. Tonight, mostly cloudy with more rain, down to 50. Tomorrow,
Rapsuka still weighs 75 kilograms.
Yes. Wednesday through Sunday, nothing but sunshine.
Woohoo!
right.
That can work.
So we start out with rain, and more rain. Look at it, Cinco de Mayo. We're drinking inside. That's all. That's all the difference is.
So based on what we ended up with, all of those things that were out there, I now own most of that phone store.
Otherwise, you're going to wake up awful wet.
Listen, the last time I got really drunk, it was after eating Mexican food.
Right?
You do not want to taste Mexican food on the way back up.
Yeah, Technicolor
It's
yawn.
nasty.
Yeah.
And if it splashes on your sneakers like mine did, that's not a good look either.
My wife's not a big fan of Mexican food. She thinks it looks that way already.
Yeah.
You know how that food... and here's the thing about Mexican food. It's all the same. They just find new ways to package it, and it doesn't bother me a bit, because I love it all.
You heard the classic rock Cinco de Mayo song, didn't you?
What's that?
My Corona.
We've got your song, too, for you today. editorial staff here at the Fox to talk about our Fox Big Deals.
Better than going to a landfill site, says Canada Dan. What, you mean to get used goods from former businesses? That might be it. What song? That's Dr. Dealgood specifically for our sales representative who's talking about our radio station's half-off deals that we have. If you go to the website, you'll find them. Carrie has finished her total clean out of house we donated to the vets. Isn't that cool? That's a big job over the weekend, performed by Tina Jr. Speaking of big jobs, Tim Fan joins us. He's in the middle of doing one. His yo-yo is right now his trademark as he comes in to join us. Good morning, Tim Fan, our resident roofer, who actually is a complete house builder. He just starts at the bottom, moves up to the roof, ends up high on the roof when it's all done. But he is an artist when it comes to putting together all the rest of the house. Tell you what. Dale's thinking if that store had been talking about giving away free phones. That's the only thing they didn't give away for free was the phones that they were selling. That's the only thing we couldn't get for free out of there. Now we find that Mel, who knows the conversion, she's on the kilogram side anyway, was 103, is now 84. Okay, does that, Rapsuka, do you have a conversion chart? Because I need to know what that is. What yours is at 75 and hers is 84 kilos. What is that? What does that mean? Okay, what are you working on today, Tim Fan? You were on the roof last week, I believe, if I remember right, when you're talking about your job for the day. Dale would take 2 and run. Phones you're talking about. Well, I got 3, but it wasn't phones. It was folding chairs. Okay, you're working on insulation, okay? Tina thinks, is that like 175 pounds, Rapsuka? Would you be like 175 American pounds at 75 kilos? Kilos? I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch. Well, in the United States, it's a big deal. The Kentucky Derby this past weekend. The Kentucky Derby, which is run in Louisville, Kentucky every year. It's the first race in what's called the Triple Crown of horse racing, which involves the Preakness Stakes in New York, or in Baltimore, 2 weeks from now. And then 3 weeks after that, the Belmont Stakes, which is in Belmont, New York. All of those 3. And maybe the greatest, not even maybe, this is the greatest horse of all time, Secretariat. Dominated the Triple Crown in 1973. Dominated. I mean, it almost lapped the other. In the Kentucky Derby, Secretariat damn near lapped the entire field of other horses. That's how good that horse was in 1973. Well, this particular weekend of the Kentucky Derby that was just run, every single horse that was entered in it, every one of them, was a descendant of Secretariat. Every one of them was a descendant of Secretariat. And the one that won, I think, is like a 5th generation descendant of Secretariat. Greatest horse ever. No wonder all those horses were in the Kentucky Derby. Jeez. Dale is 54, wait a minute, 54, 1.75 pounds. Unless you're moving some punctuation around, and it's pretty vital that we have it correct. You're going to say you're 5'4" and 175, I believe, is what I'm deciphering out of that. 5'4" and 175. Moving a little bit of punctuation around. All right, we'll get to the traffic.
Just log on to foxbigdeals.com and start saving on your favorite local restaurants and businesses.
Seems like we just did traffic, but we'll do it again. Okay, we're looking at deciphering as being a challenger for the word today, along with, what was the other one we were talking about? Toiling? Toiling, I think, was the other one that was in contention. We also have Bob on Facebook. Good morning, Bob Hansen. Welcome to our soiree here for a Monday. Our simul stream, which includes YouTube and Twitch and people on Facebook, such as yourself. It is a long time till Thursday, says Rapsuka, lamenting the fact that he's got to wait for a long time to get those fireballs. Mel, 185.18 pounds. Oh, you did the conversion. Thank you. 185.18. Cool. All right. I think we've got that straight now. I want to get back into recapping for those of you who are not quite fully aware of what we're doing starting this Friday, resurrecting an old thing that we used to do that was very beneficial to me, and I guess for some people as well, some other people who were watching and guessing at the time when we were playing this contest, which is the Friday morning weigh-in. We'll do that starting on Friday. Mel did the conversion, said she was 227.07 pounds, now down to 185.18. All right. That is pretty significant. That is a major, major step. That's great.
Some things in life are just always going to be low. Death Valley is 280 feet below sea level. The Dead Sea is...
Okay, now we've got lamenting is being thrown into the mix here. Linda's having trouble with this because we're being overloaded with contenders for the word of the day here. You know, we can always... we could put some of these in the bank and use them down the line if it weren't for the fact that those tend to get lost in the cloud after we've put them there. Have I studied meters? Rapsuka asked. Briefly, yes. The United States, briefly in the late 70s, was being pushed into the direction of the metric system. And then the United States en masse said, that's too complicated for us, we can't do that. We still have a little bit of basic knowledge, but not enough to be able to do the conversions or to completely convert and commit to doing that. We still like our feet. We still like our, some people are obsessive over feet. Others like miles. Others like pounds.
They're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Tina thinks that maybe Louise ought to write these down. You know, because we never seem to be able to come back with those bankables. I think that's what she means by that comment. I think. Might be something else. I don't know, but I think.
But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Hey, Tigers fans, the Michigan Lottery has something new to sing about. Introducing the Detroit Tigers games. The Tigers instant ticket, pull tab, and 2 online games. Buy me some Tigers games, wish me luck.
Maybe I'll win $500,000.
Enjoy your favorite pastime and a chance to strike it rich.
So let's root for the Tigers.
With 1, 2, or 3 new ways to play. The new Detroit Tigers games, only from the Michigan Lottery. Knowing your limits, always the best bet. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Chesaning Glass Service with nearly 20 years in the industry. They specialize in custom shower glass enclosures, residential broken or fogged windows, commercial window and door replacement and repair, custom mirrors as in dance and exercise studios or rooms, and their customer service is second to none.
Mel is 6'1". She's as tall as Sophie Cunningham.
On Facebook and check them out on the web at ChesaningGlass.com or give them a call at 989-385-36.
120 million in the Euro jackpot tomorrow, Rapsuka says.
And 8 minutes from Frankenmuth, this 18-hole track has a family-friendly layout in a
I don't know if you probably, some of you jumped in there after we got done with the news. There was a story about a lottery winner. Want to relate to that in a second. And then continue talking about this new resurrected weigh-in contest that we're doing. Yeah.
7323 Dixie Highway, 989-401-6100. And make sure you check out Green Acres on Facebook.
Traffic. 103.9 of Fox. Vehicle City Traffic.
Well, so far so good. We have no problems on any of the freeways or the surface streets on this Monday morning commute so far, but that could change very quickly. And for updated Vehicle City traffic info, you check out classicfox.com/traffic. It'll be there. If you spot a crash or unusual delay, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777 via Traffic Tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
The Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
After he was found dead by his girlfriend in a Paris hotel bathtub in 1971 at the age of 27, surviving band members considered replacing him with several new musicians, including Paul McCartney on bass and Iggy Pop on vocals. Now, Iggy Pop probably would have done a great job,
That might have worked out.
but Paul McCartney? I don't even hear that.
No.
And actually, neither worked out, and it's probably just as well. Let's get into it from the 1970 album Morrison Hotel. It's Jim Morrison and the Doors with Peace Frog on 103.9 The Fox.
Tim Fan is installing outside frost-free faucets tomorrow and then another bathroom remodel. Full day ahead. And he'll never even get high on the roof in the next 2 days. Then you got two roofs and a deck with a siding job. Baby, I'm telling you what. Tim Fan is a busy man. So is this dude, James Farthing, in Kentucky. Last weekend, he won the $167 million Powerball jackpot we had talked about when it was won. In fact, I think it was a week ago today we talked about it. He was, didn't say specifically him, but we said there was a $167 million winning lottery number that had been held on a ticket by somebody in Kentucky. And it was a $167 million Powerball jackpot won by this dude, James Farthing. So he had found that out last weekend. By Wednesday last week, just days later, he was in a heap of trouble because he was arrested for assaulting an officer during a fight. He had also been charged with violating parole because he had been on parole for offenses that included drug charges, engaging in organized crime, and a number of other things. He had told lottery officials that his mom was the one who told him that he won that lottery jackpot, which is the largest to ever be won in Kentucky. And he and his mom were going to split the money, which she was going to use to pay off debts. It's an interesting family. I mean, all kinds of people are eligible to win our multi-state lottery, and sometimes headline makers do win the lottery. This one did. Well, the other thing, another person that made the headlines was a lady by the name of Ethel Caterham, who is 115 years old now. She is now the oldest living person in the world. She's taken over that title, which isn't held, admittedly, very long by anybody, but she's got it. She has already been the oldest woman living in Britain, and now she's the oldest woman in the world because the previous oldest died just the other day at the age of 116, was a Brazilian nun by the name of Ina Canabero Lucas. So now at 115 years, and when she was anointed this title, 115 years, 252 days old, Ethel Caterham of Britain is now the oldest living person. All right? Now we're doing this thing here this coming weekend, almost the weekend. Friday, we're going to start back doing this weigh-in with the goal to be down to, and I'm just going to put it in a range of between 200 and 205 because we'd had a little thing the first time we did this weigh-in. There was a difference in opinion between myself and my doctor regarding which is better. I wanted to get down to 200 even. He said 205 is fine for you, you're good. But if you get to 200, your body mass index is going to be better. In fact, it's going to be perfect. So that's what we kind of started to shoot for, and we got there. In fact, we passed it. We got down to 196 for a short time through a 2.5-year process of watching our calorie intake on a daily basis and getting every Friday on weigh-in support and encouragement from all of you guys as we were having you all watch the scale. And if it was too high, if it was higher than the previous week, it was an embarrassment to me, although you guys were really nice and kept going with the encouragement and the push forward kind of attitude that we had. So we ultimately managed to attain the goal. Well, that's what we're trying to do now. We're at 217.8, and we're trying to get back down into that 200 to 205 range. And so Friday, we're going to start doing that again. We'll ask you to guess what you think to be that weight that week that's on the scale. Whoever it gets closest, either over or under, will be the winner that week and be put in a drawing, which we will use. And I'm thinking maybe we're going to take maybe 5 different winners for this. And that will be the 5 that are eligible for a drawing from me of whatever you want. I'm not going to charge you at all for the drawing of the person, pet, or place that you'd like. But I would like you, in exchange for the drawing, to donate whatever you feel is fair to your local animal shelter. That's going to be the deal that we make, all right?
All right, now with the trivia question, the phone number that you'll need, 810-230-9777. As always, I invite you to send along requests for this feature, Steph at ClassicBox.com. A birthday, an anniversary, or a song maybe you just haven't heard for a while, definitely send it along, Steph at ClassicBox.com. You are playing for a pair of tickets to see Quiet Riot at the United by Sacrifice concert at Coleman Veterans Memorial on May 25th. We've got pairs of tickets for the World Expo of Beer in Frankenmuth.
We have SIBO here now. Good morning, SIBO on YouTube.
For jesters, great food there, lunch or dinner. Here's the question for you guys. Jim Morrison's girlfriend is also a member of the 27 Club. What was her name?
I don't remember. Oh, but we got people that apparently know.
All right.
Look at this.
Good morning, the Fox. What was the name of Jim Morrison's girlfriend?
They hung up.
Good morning, the Fox. What was the name of Jim Morrison's girlfriend?
Morning, guys. The girlfriend's name was Pamela Corson.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Congratulations. Yeah, she died of a heroin overdose in a Los Angeles apartment on April 25th of 1974. Who's on our phone this morning?
This is Mike Loom.
Mike Loom.
We'll talk, guys.
Hey!
Mr. Loom.
What's going on, buddy?
Mr. Loom.
All right, Mike Loom. Did you hear your choices of prizes here this morning?
Of course I heard my choices of prizes. I'll take the World Expo beer ticket.
All right, we'll put your name on those, Mike. You hang on tight. We'll get some info off the air. But who just hooked you up with a great song by The Doors and a pair of tickets to the World Expo of Beer? Yeah, there we go. Cheers.
103.9 The Fox.
Perfect.
106.9.
Hi, this is Lisa.
All right, Dale's out of here. Have a great day, Dale. And now here on Twitch is Soaring Eagle 59. We know her as Boss Lady Penguin from Alabama. Welcome, morning, Boss Lady. Everybody else is over on YouTube right now. All is good. Was a good weekend. Was a good weekend. Good to know that. Good report from Alabama right now. Tina, meanwhile, has been frustrated, and so therefore that's become a food, impetus. So how indeed is Thelma feeling this morning? Eating eases pain, says Tina. Do you think that's true? Eating eases pain? You think that's really true?
Break open the fun at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort with Pinata Smash. Every Friday in May from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., 3 lucky guests will be called every hour for their chance to swing. Each winner
All right, one thing that happened in Alabama was that Boss Lady got the back brakes repaired on the vehicle that went out on Wednesday. That's good news. Those rear brakes, very important to have working. Passenger wheel bearing, a wheel bearing that broke. Well, good. I won't ask you what that costs because that can be pricey. How much time was left? Oh, 1.6 seconds was left. Holy cow. They're 1.6 seconds. Winnipeg was 1.6 seconds away from being eliminated last night in the first round of the playoffs. They scored to tie it and then win in double overtime. They were the best team during the regular season and almost didn't make it out of the first round. But by 1.6 seconds, they managed to stay alive. That's crazy. That's crazy. No wonder the Blues are so blue this morning. Man, oh man, oh man. All right. Not really as bad as you figured. $380. That's not, that's really not too bad is what I was thinking. It's really not too bad. Tina does think it eases a bit of pain. Oh, yeah, we wanted to know this. Tina is, or at least Linda of the Thelma and Louise team, is asking this, Boss Lady. What was the outcome of you and Mr. Boss Lady? Because we remember on Friday about the status of you two going into the weekend because of some comment that he made that really ticked you off. And we wondered how that was going to end up. So the question was from Linda, who's on YouTube right now, did you make up with Jim, Boss Lady, or Mr. Boss Lady, as we like to refer to him? Okay, Mel is talking about she thinks so because when you take meds, it makes you feel sick, and so it helps. In that case, I can see how it would. In that case, I can see how it would offset the effects of the meds, yeah. Okay, Boss Lady's answer to that, guys, is that it turned out good. He was really kissing up Friday and Saturday. How many days till summer, asks Rob Suka. Well, we're looking here in the United States at the unofficial start of summer, which is Memorial Day weekend, which is a 3-day weekend, which is the first chance that I get to have a break in the schedule and get a 3-day weekend. We haven't had that since New Year's. And that comes up in 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today, we won't be doing a live stream that Monday. 3 weeks from today, no live stream on Monday because of the fact that it will be Memorial Day and we'll all have the day off. The show will be off in the morning and we'll have the live stream day off also. So 3 weeks from today. That's not the official summer solstice, but it is the unofficial start of summer where the United States is concerned. No simul stream, not that day, no. Let's have another song from the Steve Miller Band, right? Before we get to the news. Now, here's the next question for you, Boss Lady, as a follow-up to that comment of yours about how he was kissing up on Friday and Saturday. Is that how it always happens? Is that how it always happens? You guys, you win most of them? You end up being the winner most of the time? Now, hear from, with his, well, let me tell you, he's got his cricket stick in hand, so that ought to be the clue. He's here from Pakistan, Basit. That would be Paul McCartney, of course. Well, of course you do win. Of course you win all the time. Yeah. The Saturday before the veterans, bikers will be going by Boss Lady's place. At least 200 bikers are going to be going by. Wow. Jeez. And it is quite the cricket stick. Tall McCartney would like you all to know. You've been using it for a long time, so I imagine that you've managed to break it in well. Good. News is coming up next on Cinco de Mayo. That's something that the United States celebrates simply because everybody in the United States is looking for a reason to drink. It's not even as big a deal in Mexico as it is here. It's not even close to being as big a deal in Mexico as it is here. Boss Lady says she's going to be out waving and saluting the bikers that day. We're going to get tired if 200 bikers are going by. That's crazy. Do they do that all the time? They do it every year? Basit says that drinking is cool, though. Boy, that's a matter of opinion. That is a matter of opinion. Boss, Tall, have you ever had a hangover? Let me ask you that. Have you ever had a hangover? Yeah, that's kind of what Linda said, Drinko de Mayo. That's kind of what the United States turns everything into, is a drink fest. It is. With law enforcement escort. Oh, there's 200 bikers. We'll have a law enforcement escort. That's pretty awesome.
Television or anything on national, and there's some local Michigan person in it, I will always root for them.
Yeah.
A contestant from Michigan.
That's awesome.
If there is one, if you're the same as me, here's some recent examples. Over the weekend, 22-year-old Portage native Carson Hocevar celebrated his first career NASCAR Cup Series pole position.
Wow.
Pretty cool deal there. Meanwhile, Michigan native Allie Jackson is making her mark. I'm not even aware of this, but apparently she is now one of the 7 vocalists who have been selected to perform in the world premiere of Dolly Parton's groundbreaking symphonic concert called Threads, My Songs in Symphony.
Wow.
And it's a local girl, Allie Jackson, that's going to be performing in that.
Huh.
Look, I shouldn't say girl, local woman. I'm assuming. I have no idea who she is. Maybe somebody else does. You can call us and tell us. And University of Michigan gymnast and Olympic medalist Frederick Richard performed, this is insane, 1,111 backflips to set the Guinness World Record for the most in a 24-hour period. The previous record was 1,001, and he did 1,111.
That's a huge break. Like, he broke the record by a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, and backflips.
Yeah, I heard already just thinking about that.
Yeah, I can't imagine what his
Okay, I can't tell you how strongly I disagree with that comment. Hangovers are worth it, just the price you pay for a good time. I can't tell you the degree to which I disagree with that comment.
I mean, I'm pretty sure for Millington High School, I'm still the second farthest discus throw they ever had. That doesn't get your name on the board, but I'm there. I'm number 2 by a quarter inch. I'm still there.
Number 2.
Number two. Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. Beautiful thing. Let's see if Hal can break a record here now.
But see, I'm having a good time every time I'm down here in the morning theaters.
The 5 things you need to know with Mr. Hal Maas.
5 things you should know is from 103.9 The Fox, and it's brought to you by BioStar Services. Fire, flood, biohazard, or more, BioStar Restoration Service can quickly restore your home or business as good as new. BioStar is independently owned and operated with 24/7 emergency service and discounts to veterans. Call BioStar at 844-424-6782 or online at restorationbiostar.com. Deadly shooting in Flint last Friday remains under investigation, as multiple reports say a 55-year-old man was found dead at the Travel Inn on Dort Highway, and police are now said to have taken 2 people into custody. Prison time ahead for a Flint man convicted on 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct involving a minor. 34-year-old David Sampson was sentenced last week for a term of between 18 and 60 years. Word out of Ann Arbor today that the University of Michigan is going to be searching for a new president. Santa Ono announcing that he plans to leave U of M this summer. He's going to take over as president at the University of Florida. Ono's only been the U of M president for the past 3 3 years. Tigers having a great time over the weekend in Los Angeles. They beat the Angels 3 times out of 4 games. Yesterday, they trounced the Angels 13-1. Have the day off today. Great Lakes Loons closed out their week against the Quad Cities River Bandits with a 7-3 win at Dow Diamond in Midland. The Loons also have their day off today. And in the UFL at Ford Field yesterday, the Michigan Panthers are winner over the DC Defenders 38-14. Panthers off to a 4-2 season so far. Joey Logano drove to win at the NASCAR race at Texas Motor Speedway. And to cap this one off, gas prices in Michigan have jumped by 17 cents a gallon over the past week to a statewide average $3.21 for unleaded regular. AAA Michigan reporting Saginaw is where some of the most expensive prices have been posted. They're averaging around $3.26. And that's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox.
103.9 The Fox.
Today's forecast calling for cloud cover most of the day with a few peaks of sun and a chance of some rain this morning. Temperatures hitting around 66 with east winds at 6. More rain likely tonight along with overnight lows down around 50. And then for tomorrow, off and on rain and 63. Sunshine returning for Wednesday along with some slightly warmer temperatures that should top out at around 67. Right now it's 50 in Flint and in Saginaw also 50.
This is the Foxhole Morning Show. Flores Ottawasso.
Flint's Classic Rock Authority.
103.9. The Fox.
We have a Foxhole People poll coming up this hour. Stand by, see how you rate in our People poll here this morning, and we'll see how Bliss is doing too. Coming up, 103.9 The Fox.
It was kind of wild this morning looking out under my on my TV monitor because in the morning I've usually got several different local stations on to see what's going on over there. We have 3 TV stations in this area. 2 of them do morning local news. And one of them used to have a man and a woman co-anchoring the news. The woman was let go by the corporate management for reasons known only to them. Most of that's been done at that particular station as budget-cutting maneuvers. So the fella was left on as a solo anchor, and he's been doing that ever since. Well, this morning, the female who used to co-anchor with him is now co-anchoring, at least as a fill-in, on the competing station. So the 2 of them were on at the same time, now opposite each other after having spent several years at the same anchor desk. That was wild to watch. That's just something that you're up early in the morning. Sometimes it's kind of weird to see stuff like that. Let me show you, because you need a smile to get you into the new week, the face of a Norwegian elk hound by the name of Titan, who lives in Moreno Valley, California, which we found out earlier is about an hour away from Eric, our musicologist, who's there knowing that Def Leppard's playing Photograph right now. This is Titan. That's Titan. I guess the gas in Bama is under $3. That's cool. It has been here, but then it went back up again. Several weeks ago. It was about 3 weeks ago, I think it was under $3 on average, and then it went back up again. That's one handsome guy, huh? That's Titan. I like the name, too. It's really cool. All right. Guys, thank you very much for your attendance and your attention and starting our week with us on Cinco de Mayo. Celebrate however you wish. Have yourself a pleasant, peaceful, and productive Monday. We'll come back here tomorrow. And since tomorrow is a day that's going to start with a T, we're going to be on Instagram at Hal Maas _news. So set your sights on that at about 7 a.m. Eastern time. And if you're following that page, you will be notified when we go live, assuming that they do that. We're inconsistent with that. Sometimes you get notified, sometimes you don't, even if you're supposed to. But we'll be here, and hopefully you will be as well. And you'll be able to hang out with your friends, the Hal Raisers, once again, as you always enjoy doing, like you did today. Didn't you? We'll see you tomorrow, okay? Okay.